Abbotsford this week?
No, you're all good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Can I show you what happened?
How we came up with that?
Oh, Pinterest.
Yes.
Oh.
Except I replaced pizza for ice cream, so.
But it's funny, like we put that in because we thought it was just fun and like it was a feature that was easy rather than painting, and everybody takes photos of it.
Yeah. Or their ice cream there.
And, like there's millions of photos like with an ice cream cone like this or people smiling, like it's just become like the thing that people do.
But it's very on brand, you know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
The Banter essence, right? Yeah. Banter is actually inspired on our honeymoon. We've been married for, is it 6 years?
Coming up on 6, yeah.
Yeah, so we've been married for 6 years. We went to Salt Spring Island and they have this amazing market there. There's about 150 vendors and we decided to get ice cream at the market. And there's this little lady making ice cream and we had one lick and that was it. Like we just thought it was the best food we'd ever tasted. And I always grew up cooking. My mom cooked a lot. She baked every single day growing up. We had tea every day at 3 o'clock without fail. So we just grew up eating like all the desserts. And so I thought of this idea of, you know, starting ice cream. We have nothing like it in Abbotsford, and then pairing that with my love for eating and just dessert in general. And I think that's just where the idea started. From there, we signed up for a market just down the road from us, and we spent 2 summers just making ice cream, serving ice cream, getting to know the community, and that's kind of how it started.
What did you start off with for flavors, or like basic stuff? Or?
No, basic was never really the idea. I did start with a salted caramel, and in hindsight, that's one of the hardest ice creams to make, so I probably shouldn't have started with that. And I started with, I'm trying to think my first flavor, was it coffee?
I don't know.
And coffee, I think salted caramel and a cold brew coffee made with local beans. And then my third flavor ever was blueberry basil, which we have right now, and it's probably one of my favorites ever.
Can you tell me about the ingredients?
Yeah, so most of them are local, like whatever we grow here. Obviously we don't have citrus trees, but for the most part we try and source things from farms around Abbotsford, from the Fraser Valley, and our dairy is of course from the Fraser Valley as well. So I don't know, it's fun playing around with the produce that we have, and there's a lot of it here. Yeah, we make ice cream year round. In the winter we tend to make a lot more of the ice cream in pints, like the little to-go containers. It's definitely busier in the summer, but we've realized that people need ice cream all year round, no matter the occasion.
Yeah. And the fun part about it being a seasonal business is there's so many different flavors throughout the season. So like fall comes with all the pumpkin spice flavors and pies and like sort of those comfort desserts, where like in summer you get berries, and there's tons of Christmas stuff you can do, candy cane, this and that. So really you can do something novel every month of the year, which is what we try to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. When there's an argument, what happens?
She wins.
Hey, that's not true.
Business argument or marriage argument?
Yes.
Oh, okay, well that's...
Doesn't matter, she wins.
Okay,
That's so not true. I wouldn't say we eat a ton of ice cream. I think when you make it all the time, you lose that like desire to eat it all the time. But yeah, no, we also have a lot of other hobbies other than making ice cream and running the business. So it's good to have some life balance. Yeah. This space opened July of 2020.
Okay. Wow.
And it took a couple years for us to build this space. As many of you know, it used to be the old Centennial Library in Abbotsford, and then it sat empty for about 7 years, and then we got to go in it, which was really special. Yeah.
It already came with this color, I presume?
Oh,
yeah, we weren't allowed to change the aesthetic, but then we kind of built that color into our brand. Okay. It was really cool right when we saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought it was really cool. Some people think it's kind of tacky, but I like it.
My favorite color.
Okay.
One of my favorite colors.
I don't know. We weren't sure what to expect, but it's been really positive, I think, overall. When we opened, it was kind of right as businesses started opening up after the first wave. And I think people were just so excited to go somewhere and do something. And this park allowed for a lot of social distancing naturally. And people are just excited to get ice cream. So. I wouldn't say that there was too many of those challenges directly. Obviously we had to adapt and changed some of our plans, but for the most part, everyone was excited to come. I think there's been pros and cons for sure. I think the park, you can't change a space instantaneously, so it definitely takes time. It's tricky. I think it's beautiful that it is a space where there are people from the community, rich or poor or any ethnicity, that can come here and feel welcome. And sometimes we run into some issues of people that like live in the park, but nothing that we haven't been able to, I guess, deal with.
I think it's good. Like it's
incidences, but
yeah, like the staff are learning how to deal with people, and it's like, you know, we have like a lot of high school students, and through this, it's like good exposure to like what real world stuff can be, right? Like, you know, folks come in and ask to use the bathroom, and it creates like a little bit of tension, but it's usually resolved all for the good, right? So, I mean,
I don't know if you're going to use this, but yesterday one of our staff member Narcan someone 3 times and brought them back to life. Like they were straight
like right
up
here
dead,
somewhere,
right
yeah.
Here. So I mean, that's like a positive influence. It's yeah, you have to adapt your business to, you know, take absolutely everything in at night, and you are going to get people coming in at night, and we've had people throw poop at our window, and I don't know, there's those elements, but overall it's been worth it.
Part of the adventure, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, we just take it as it comes.
Well, I mean, this is...
The park really has transformed. The city put like millions into like the grounds and the sidewalk and the lights and the play structure, so I think that they wanted to see, you know, the park like get some life into it, and then the idea of an ice cream shop kind of like was the other half of that, like what it needed. So, you know, you come here in the evenings and it's full of kids, families, people play spike ball and tag and play with the dogs. So, yeah, it's really transformed for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have,
It's kind of cheesy, I guess. Well, we have 2. I'd say one of them is like scooping happiness. At the end of the day, like we're scooping ice cream. We get it. People love ice cream, but there is like a feeling and emotion, just like nostalgia that comes with that. And we really want it to be about like, you're coming here, you're with your friends, family, you're gonna banter, and you're getting a scoop of happiness. Super cheesy, but that's what we're all about.
It's when we do our staff orientations, it's like the first thing we open with. It's like, you're not here to, you know, really serve ice cream or like whatever. You're here to like make people happy. People come in and they're stoked, and that's kind of like the idea of the experience, is just to like overall get like happy when you leave, and the ice cream is like a great vehicle for that. So
yeah, the amount of people that come in, they're like, I just had a rough day, I need to pick me up, and then that's what we can do for them.
Or people come celebrate, like soccer game, you win a soccer game and you come get ice cream, or you graduate, or there's a wedding, after parties out here. Like there's just tons of reasons to get ice cream.
Would you say you're set apart in the way you make your ice cream?
I think so. Yeah.
Are you rolling?
That's not that exciting. It's not. Yeah, we have a blast freeze. Essentially, it's right when our ice cream is extracted. We extract it at -5, and it's still soft, so it's like soft serve ice cream. We put it in the blast, and it essentially pulls out any heat from the ice cream, and it'll bring it down to negative, however cold you want it, -30 really.
So it's like cryo machine.
Yes, essentially.
Yeah.
And then it reduces the amount of ice crystals in your ice cream, so it'll make it a lot smoother and just higher end. Yeah, really good. It's good.
These units separate the. This is what makes it quality, really.
Okay.
Beyond like the flavors and stuff, this is kind of like the secret behind the texture. It's just getting it really cold, really fast. Yeah. I mean, everything's made in the little kitchen we have there.
Like we this morning we drove to the farm, we picked the mint, we de-stemmed it, we washed it 3 times. We're gonna soak the mint in our ice cream. We're gonna strain it tomorrow. We're gonna churn it. We made our own chocolate chips for this ice cream. We melt down chocolate, add the perfect amount of coconut oil for the perfect snap, chop it up, and that goes into your ice cream. So like everything is made with a lot of like attention, and every detail is intentional. It's like just like the sweetness of the ice cream, if you're getting like tart or tangy notes, like that was all, like we curated that.
And the vetting process for something to like go from the conception and the idea, and then the staff try it, and like Laura's always the most critical, the vetting process from that to like production is usually weeks.
Yeah, it takes a couple weeks. Like we launch 4 new flavors every month. I know it's the 8th. Today, we started working on our new flavors for July. Is it July? No, August. Sorry, started working on our new flavors for August at the beginning of this week. And it already feels like we're a little behind. So it takes a long time. We have to source the ingredients, make sure the farmers have their supply. Like sometimes the crop doesn't go well. For example, like the heat wave last week.
It'll make a challenge for things, yeah.
Fried so many of the fruit orchards. Yeah, then we test it. Some of the batches we'll make 11 batches, like just to make sure that it tastes like how we want it to taste before putting it out there. So
did you say 11 batches?
Yeah, that was the blood orange creamsicle sorbet. That one took 11 batches. They don't all take that long, but some of them take a lot of effort.
But it's cool, like when we did Marcus, she made everything in this tiny little machine that did how many liters? 2 liters at a time?
1.5 liters at a time.
So that was like the process of the market days, and now we've obviously expanded to like a large machine, but like when we do the test batches, the girls are like working in this like micro scale and they're like spooning it out, and it's like a really cool little thing.
Yeah. And
it feels special when you pull it out because it's like the new flavors are coming, they'll like pull out the little machine, it's like this sort of like, I don't know, there's like a vibe to it.
That is pretty fun.
So everybody in there gets to test it?
If they're around.
If they're around, we get everybody in there to taste it. And even if we don't take their advice, we like to know what everybody else's opinion are.
We judge the caliber of their tasting.
Because I know we're gonna have so many different people walking through the doors. Like I have a different palate than all of you, and I want everyone's opinion, whether or not I used it or not.
We've already outgrown the kitchen here. Like the girls work 7 days a week. Like we have shifts like that go, you know, we spread it out, but that machine runs 10 hours a day, 7 days a week usually. And it's at capacity for here. So we began looking for an alternative space to work in a kitchen, but we've found a spot in Chilliwack on the Garrison River where we'll have another retail front and then like a big skookum kitchen, and we're gonna move production out there.
Is this breaking news or has this been around? Because I haven't checked any of the little...
We have a sign on the premise, like it says Banter, but we haven't said anything.
I'd say breaking news, yeah. Definitely.
You guys got the scoop.
You got the scoop? Literally the scoop of ice.
Yes.
Pun intended, sorry.
Do you want to introduce us?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm Zach, this is Laura, and we're the owners of Banter Ice Cream here in Abbotsford, Jubilee Park, and you're watching Find You in the Valley. Right? Find You in the Valley?
Yeah.